3、2、1，中巴转动，世界球童 ，Join Players Uniting the World。女士们、先生们，这里是利百文台尼乔氏杯2025中式八球大师赛南宁站超级分站赛第3阶段双百第1轮1到第16场的比赛现场。Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Liberty Club's Joy Cup 2025 Heyball Master Super Tour 南宁 Station。现在，让我们有请运动员、裁判员入场。And now let's welcome players and referees. Table 2 2号台由来自中国的周龙对阵来自中国的张坤鹏，裁判员徐景言。Table 4 4号台由来自缅甸的杨少杰对阵来自中国的夏里奥，裁判员刘法恒。Table 6 6号台由来自瑞士的朱利安·塞拉迪拉对阵来自中国的王云，裁判员李亚芬。Table 8 8号台由来自中国台湾刘正杰对阵来自英国的迈克尔希尔，裁判员李勇。Table 10 10号台由来自中国的冯泽元对阵来自芬兰的金姆拉克索宁，裁判员刘媛媛。Table 12 12号台由来自西班牙的何宰德尔加多对阵来自中国的吴镇宇，裁判员刘宇。Table 40 14号台由来自英国加雷斯波茨对阵来自新西兰海利摩尔，裁判员张月秋。Table 60 16号台由来自英国的杰克惠兰对阵来自中国的陈双友，裁判员商凯。Table 80 18号台由来自中国的牛壮对阵来自韩国的朴永俊，裁判员佘振振。Table 20 20号台由来自中国的郑肖怀对阵来自中国的张坦毅，裁判员玉林。Table 22 22号台由来自英国的迈克尔·汤姆林森对阵来自中国的陈哲，裁判员宋明明。Table 25 25号台由来自中国的郝天对阵 来自巴基斯坦的阿凡达德，裁判员陆月。Table 26 26号台，由来自蒙古的阿德里格尔湖对阵来自中国的陈思明，裁判员何秀红。Table 28 28号台，由来自中国的崔明军对阵来自匈牙利的奥利弗·索尔诺基，裁判员杜立西。Table 30 30号台，由来自德国的大卫·达纳尔对阵来自中国的博俊杰，裁判员龚一航。Finally, it's Table TV. 最后登场的是 TV 台，将由来自中国的沈申毅对阵来自菲律宾的丹尼斯·奥克洛。本场比赛主裁判张毅，助理裁判田颖、柴新凤。中巴转动世界球童，此刻精彩比赛即将开战。
水平你好，詹斯奥克勒你好，陈双远中国科技实验室，预备，3、2、1，开始。丹尼斯奥克勒获得开始选球。
Good day to all the viewers joining us from across the world, and this is it, Stage 3. We are here at the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Nanning Station for the Super Tour final stage tournament going on from the 25th of December, runs to the 4th of January, with the final at 2 p.m. local time, but still quite a few days, 6 more days including this one. We've just started Stage 3, the last 32 players in the tournament. It is double elimination. At the moment, it's still a race to 13 in round 1 and 2. We've got all 32 players playing at the moment. Now, some big names are out already. Tang Shunshao, Chu Bingjie out as well. Zhao Ruliang. But for now, let's focus on our TV table match. Shen Sheni from China goes up against Dennis Okolo from the Philippines. Dennis winning the leg. And that looks like a dry break. It is winner's break format here as well. No time limit on these matches, well, throughout the tournament from Stage 2 onwards. And we do hope that you are enjoying your festive period so far and also enjoying the streams. It's been my absolute pleasure bringing it to you guys and being here with you guys, which I will be to the final day. Now we do also check, well, I check the YouTube comments and Facebook comments as well. So if there are any questions about the tournament or about the players, I will try and answer that as best as I can. Shen Shenyi, we haven't seen him on the TV table that many times, but I've watched him play quite a lot. He is a real phenomenal player out of China. Also up there with one of the best. Hasn't been able to break through just yet. One of his best performances was run-up at the Tianjin station, lost that to Tang Shunshao in the final. And just 21 years of age is Shen Shenyi. And yes, everyone is back to double elimination. No matter how you got through stage 1 and how you got through stage 2, everything is reset. It's a brand new stage. Everyone with 2 lives at the moment. Now, the unfortunate thing is there will already be players eliminated by the end of today. We do have 2 sessions today. So, of course, 32 players. There will be 16 players that lose their match. And if they play in the losers bracket tonight, we will eliminate 8 players by the end of today. So by tomorrow morning down to 24, and then it goes quite quick. Now the next Heyball tournament on the calendar is the World Cup in Australia. That is from the 16th or 17th of January. So stay tuned to our pages. We'll announce those dates again. I'm sure they are somewhere, but we will put them out again. That is the next Heyball tournament. That is in Australia, Brisbane, Australia. And if by now you don't recognize the voice, I'm your commentator for the Joy Heyball events, Raymond Tillack from South Africa. And thank you guys for joining me on the stream. We've got a lot more action and things are going to really heat up at this stage of the tournament. That's when it gets really exciting. Yeah, is he going to make it around the 14 into the 14, which means he'll still be okay. 5 does go to the bottom right corner pocket. Yeah, I would say that's not a pot that would be missed later into the match, being the first frame. Also not an easy way to play that shot. That shot you usually want to be playing center white, stunning it instead of rolling the cue ball, giving any side, any unintentional side, a chance to grab. So first look at Dennis Okolo after his dry break. His last match of stage 2 had to go through Mohammad Reza Hassan from Malaysia to get through. Dennis Okolo, 46 years of age, was inducted into the BCA Hall of Fame in 2020. And he is considered one of the greatest pool players who have ever lived. Over 20 major titles in American pool. 2011 WPA World 8-Ball Champion as well. The experience that he brings to the game of pools is unbelievable. Yeah, look, the only thing he's pretty much left is the 11 to the top right corner pocket. The jump is also available though. Having the 14 in that corner pocket, you might see him going for that. There's more than enough space between cue ball and 4. Yeah, it's the jump that he's choosing. Now jump shots are allowed. I expect him to get this. It's there, Potts. How's the control? It's perfect. He's on the 15. Have a look at this. Look at the control of the cue ball. That is what you don't see often. Very loose grip of the backhand. Most of the players that you see from the Philippines have that loose grip on the back. It's a very smooth, very flowing cue action. But I do think this is going to be a quite a tough match for both these players. Shen Shenyi, one of those players who can also make 5 or 6 consecutive break and runs. So either this is going to become about Dennis being able to play his way out tactically, because head-to-head against Shen Yi, potting-wise, I don't see Dennis winning that fight. Now the draws and the flowcharts of Stage 3 will be posted on our Facebook page. But there is a redraw before the round of each match, so it's not a straight flowchart. On the TV table, we have a redraw before every round at this tournament. But on table 2, we have Zheng Kongpeng playing against Zhao Long. Kongpeng is 2-0 up already. Kongpeng with 1 break and run. We have Fon Min Kyo or Yang Xiaojie. He's up against Zhai Liao. Zhai Liao is 1-0 up. Cheng Chi Liu up against Michael Hill. Cheng is 1-0 up. Jose Delgado against Wu Zhenyu is still 0-0. Gareth Potts against Haley Moore. Gareth 1-0 up there. Jack Whelan is 1-0 up against Chen Shengyu. Niu Zhang is still in as well. He's 2-0 up against Yongjun Park. Zheng Zhaohai 1-0 down against Zheng Taiyi. Yeah, just looking at the screen, he's totally misjudged that. Plan there was to pot the 10 ball, leave the cue ball where it is now, but the 10 ball was supposed to go in. What a gift he's given Dennis Okolo here in this first frame. We got Hao Xian 1-0 up against Arfan Dad. And Delgaku from Mongolia 1-0 up against Chen Siming. Yuma Dorna is 1-0 down against Bo Junjie. Oliver Zolnocki 1-0 up against Chu Mingjun. Now, you'd have heard the names that are still in. Those are the top 32, and you'd also see them on the WHT Facebook page. Who do you think is going to be our finalists in this tournament? And Dennis Okolo capitalizes on that mistake towards the end of the frame, gets his first point on the board against Shen Shenyi. Now we have 6 more days of play, including this one. Be 2 sessions a day, starting at 10 a.m. That's the first session, race to 13 at the moment. Tonight, the next session at 5 p.m. local time. Same thing tomorrow, except tomorrow evening we go to race to 15. Following that, race to 17, race to 19, and the final, a race to 23. Yes, another few of the matches still on. That's just gone 1-1. Feng Zheyuan is against Kim Larksonen. Score is 1-1 in that match. Michael Tomlinson against Chen Zi is 1-1 at the moment. Julian Serradilla is 1-0 down against Wang Yun. Yeah, so far Kang Peng on an absolute flyer. He's 3-0 up already against Zhao Long. We did see Zhao Long on the TV table yesterday defeating Tang Shunshao. It's not there, almost, and almost the cue ball actually coming in, getting it in. But not to be. He's gonna let Shen Shenyi back to the table on solids. Now, if you are looking to watch the other matches currently live, we don't have it on Facebook. Neither can we share the link on Facebook because it does get removed. But I can tell you guys how to watch it. If you go to live.qq.com in your browser, that's live.qq.com. It is a live sports website. It's in Chinese, so get it translated through your browser. You can do that on Chrome. And find the tab that says sport or billiards, and you will see all of the current tables live there. So once again, if you are looking to watch the other tables, go to live.qq.com and translate the page. Firstly, go to sport or billiards, because it is a multi-streaming platform. There's gaming, streaming, other sports, NBA as well. You'll find a tab that says sport, billiards, and you will find all the Joy streams there as well. So in this tournament, it's a redraw before each round, so we have no idea who will be on the TV table for the next round of matches because the draw is done right before the matches, 10 minutes before the matches on the TV table, as you might have seen in previous tournaments where we've had the live on much earlier. Now Shen Shenyi at the table will do well to forget about the mistake he made in the first frame. Gifted Dennis Okolo that opportunity. He's landed quite straight on the 2-ball, bottom end of the table. It's not going to be an easy route to his next ball. Path of the 5 to the right center pocket is blocked by the 14 and the 10, unless he's going to leave himself a long 7. Yeah, he's played that pretty decent. That was best result he could have got out of that. You could see how straight he was. Not completely settled just yet, Shen Shenyi. I think, of course, getting this frame on the board will definitely do that. The Facebook page to watch the live streams is Joy World Heyball Tour Live. That is our Facebook page. It's shared onto the WHT page, World Heyball Tour as well. That is our Facebook page. I will type it into the comments. That's where you can find it. Joy World Heyball Tour Live. And on those pages, you'll find links to the draws and the live scores also, as well as the schedule, photos from the event, videos, interviews, and just everything Joy Heyball. Shen Shenyi gets his first point on the board. The score is 1-1. We got a match on our hands here. Third frame underway. It is winner's break, so Shen Shenyi breaking. The 6 looks like it might go. No, it's not going to be there. It's a try break. Chance for Dennis Okolo. Now, as I have already mentioned, we can't put the links of the live tables on Facebook or in the comments section because it does get removed. But if you are looking for it, head over to live.qq.com and you will be able to find it under the billiards tab. Yeah, Dennis, you can't be missing shots like that. Cannot be missing shots like that. Not against Shen Yi. That should have been a rack and run, and Dennis knows it. Now on table 2, Zheng Kongpeng 3-1 up against Zhao Long. Jia Lia is 1-0 up against Phoneman Kyo. Wang Yun 2-1 up against Julian Ciradilla. Michael Hill is 2-1 up against Cheng Liu. Feng Juan 3-1 up against Kim Larksonen. See Gareth Potts 2-all with Haley Moore. Haley with 1 break and run, 1 rack and run. Gareth Potts with 2 rack and runs. Niu Zhang is 2-all with Yong Jun Park. Zhang Tai 2-0 up against Zheng Zhaohai. Michael Tomlinson 2-all with Chen Zi. Bo Junjie is 2-1 up against Yuma Dorna. And Chiu Ming Jun 2-1 up against Oliver Zolnocki. Similar to the type of shot he played earlier. Gonna try and get that cue ball hidden from the 6, pot the 2 with the 14. Yeah, similar to that, except he didn't want the 14 along the right side cushion, of course. And the only thing Dennis really has to play at is the 7. Now this is the thing, getting into a tactical battle with the likes of Dennis Okolo. I really don't see how that goes Shen Yi's way. Yeah, it's a good pot from that distance. And it looks like he might just have just a piece of the 6 available. Yeah, it was a foul. Black ball first. As we see that again. Oh, the slightest of touches on the black ball coming through there. I see Phoneman Kyo is currently 2-0 down against Zhe Liao. No break and runs, no rack and runs yet in that match. Yeah, Shen Shenyi is not completely himself. It's not how I've seen him play before. Even the demeanor at the moment, and yeah, it's just not looking too confident. Because this is a finish that he should make, needs to make. He's lucky to be back at the table in this third frame. If Dennis doesn't catch the black ball on the way through, that's second point to Dennis Okolo. Yeah, he was two minds about that. I was thinking of playing the 10 coming off the ball cushion and then getting into the 14. But if that goes wrong, it can go very wrong. And you'd have heard the referee counting down. He played that shot on 1. Yeah, the referee was already counting from 5 down, and he was on 1 already when he played that shot. He covers the 9, and that is going to make things slightly difficult for Shen Shenyi going for a clearance, but doesn't need to, can put the cue ball in a safe position again, let Dennis take out the 3. Done well with that. As you can see, full ball snooker on the 3 ball for Dennis Okolo. He should get this coming off 1 cushion. He does. It's a legal shot, and he's played for the kick bank to the opposite corner pocket, center pocket. That's the problem when you're playing those shots against a player like Dennis Okolo. Sooner or later, he's going to get that. It'll be jump cue out again for Dennis. Full ball snooker behind the 14. Nice pot. 1 jump shot already in this match in the first frame. This time a little bit too much power coming into that 3 ball. That is going to be a foul. Ball in hand for Shen Shenyi anywhere on the table. And now this should be a second point on the board for Shen. See, Kang Peng is 4-1 up against Zhao Long. Kang Peng with 2 break-in runs, 1 rack and run now. Kang Peng is a player who's always in form. Very consistent. And if I had to call it, I'd say he's definitely a top 4 contender in this tournament. Shen Shenyi gets his second point on the board. He's leading 2 frames to 1 over Dennis Okolo from the Philippines. Winners break format. Shin need to break now in this fourth frame. It's 2-1. And we have had a slow start on some of the matches in stage 3 so far. 32 players left as we play down to the final. It is double elimination at the moment. So all players start off this round, well, the stage on a clean slate. No matter how they got through stage 1 and 2, it is a clean slate now. Race to 13 for now. Changes quite quickly over the next few days, all the way up to race to 23 in the final. Now looked to me like there was a slight tactical battle going on in Gareth Potts' fifth frame, but it looks like he has won that. He is 3-2 up against Haley now. It's a good break from Shin. He given himself a chance to get the first break and run of this match on the board. So far, only one visit clearance, and that's one rack and run from Shin. Nice little nudge on the 9. And if the black ball wasn't available into the bottom left corner before, it is now. Now this can become tricky, leaving those two outside the center pocket. All depends on the angle he has. If it's not favorable, he's going to have to take one of those into another pocket. Managed to come through the gap nicely. And yeah, it is looking like it's 2 ball going to be in the bottom right corner. And Shin gives us our first break and run of this match as he takes his third point. He's 3-1 up against Dennis Okolo. Just like that, he's pulled a 2-frame gap quite quickly, has Shin, and he's breaking again. Now, if he can keep this going, but he can't. Cue ball goes into the top left corner pocket. He's made a ball into the center, but it's not going to matter for him at least, as Dennis Okolo will come to the table. It was the 10. 10 kicked the cue ball in. 10 also kicked the 12 into the center pocket. See, Jung Kong Peng is 5-2 up now against Zhao Long. Kong Peng 2 break and runs, 1 rack and run. Zhao Long 2 rack and runs. That's how he's got those 2 points. Jia Liao is 3-0 up against Phone Mint at the moment. So far, no 1-visit clearances in that match. Not often we see Phone Mint down that early in a match. He's usually quite a quick starter. Michael Hill is 3-2 up against Cheng Liu. Feng Zhuan 4-2 up against Kim Larksonen. Gareth Potts now 4-2 up against Haley Moore. Problem ball here for Dennis becomes that 7. I would think that there might be a play to take out the 7 because those stripes still in a terrible position for Shen Shini. Yeah, something like that. That's not a bad shot at all. Shen still has 3 of those stripe balls on the cushion and no real first shot at the table. Well, no easy opportunity. Not a bad reply from Shen Shini. If he hasn't left anything open, he's managed to get the 15 off the cushion at least. Yeah, as you can see, doesn't really have a direct shot at any of these solids, so it's going to be cushion first, heading towards the 3. Makes it. 3 was not frozen onto the cushion, so legal shot there, although he did get the double kiss. He's taken his extension. Players do get 45 seconds per shot and 1 extension of 30 seconds in a frame. Tough decision whether to keep the safety game on or actually attack this frame. Well, has he put the 7 safe? If he has, this is not going to be that easy for Dennis. And it does look like he has He is attacking this clearance. If the 7 doesn't go direct, I'm sure he wouldn't mind banking that into the opposite center pocket. Yeah, clean potting at the moment from Dennis. He's landed on the bank. Does go, but not only does he need to get the bank, he needs to make sure he gets the cue ball out and for position for the 1. Oh, that's nice. That is very nice. It would be nice if he's not hampered by the 15. Yeah, just slightly. You can see slight elevation on the cue needed. Does make that tougher. Definitely makes that pot tougher. What should have gone in should have been easier. Table back over to Shen Yi. These are the situations where you have to punish your opponent. You have to. Straight away gets the 13 out into open play. I think he's actually left. There's definitely a piece of the 1 available. And that might just be the potting angle to get it very, very close to the bottom left corner pocket. It's an all or nothing kind of shot. It doesn't go in. You're almost handing the table over to your opponent, but what do you do in this scenario? There's no safe place. It has to go. It's not there. But also played a clever cue ball. Didn't play it very wild. If he did play it wild, the cue ball goes up table. Makes things a bit easier for Shen Yi. Now what he could do here is if he can find 1 pot from where he is currently, then get the cue ball over to the right side and try and make things a bit easier with the 15 and 14. Didn't get the pot. Has he got the snooker? Oh, that's tight. That is very tight. I wouldn't be jumping this, but you can swerve this. Which he's doing. Oh, look at that. Dennis Okolo. Yeah, it was a beautiful shot. Executed that to absolute perfection. Cue ball stays safe. Dennis gets his 2nd point on the board. Mistake from Shen Yi to not capitalize on that. The score is 3-2 in this race to 13.
单扫6个球。
So we will have the links to the draws and the live scores posted on the WHT Facebook page shortly. As soon as that is done, I will let you guys know and you can have a look at that. Should be done within the session. So Dennis manages to stay alive in this match with that swerve. That was an excellent swerve around the black ball to get that one in. Gave himself a chance at the black ball to the center pocket and made it. And now looking to equalize in the 6th frame is Dennis Okolo. On table 2, Zheng Kongpeng is 6-2 up at the 8th frame player break with 2 break and runs, 2 rack and runs, and it looks like they are playing already. It's quite a quick match on table 2. Jia Liao is 5-0 up against Phone Mendkyo. I have no idea what is going on in that match. 2 break and runs for Jia Liao, and that looks like it was 2 consecutive break and runs as well. Wang Yun is 3-2 up against Julian Serradilla. Cheng Liu 4-3 up against Michael Hill. Feng Zhuan 4-2 up against Kim Larksonen. Wu Zhenyu is 5-1 up against Jose Delgado. Gareth Potts now 5-3 up against Haley Moore. In that match, they are in the player break. 1 break and run, 3 rack and runs for Gareth Potts. 1 break and run and 2 rack and runs for Haley Moore. So a very high percentage of 1 visit clearances in that match. Jack Whelan 4-2 down against Chen Shuangyu. Yongjun Park is 4-3 up against Niu Zhang. Jing Zhaohai 3-all with Zhang Taiyi. Michael Tomlinson 4-all with Chen Zi. Hao Chen 3-2 down against Arfan Dad. And Delgaku from Mongolia is 5-2 up against Chen Seming. Chu Mingshun 5-1 up against Oliver Zolnocki, and Bo Junjia 4-2 up against Yumadona. Now, until we wait for the scores to be posted, well, the live score links, I will be updating the scores every few minutes for you guys. And an updated score from the TV table will be Dennis Okolo with his 3rd point. It is 3-all after 6 frames played between Dennis Okolo and Shen Shenyi.
全乔氏是乔氏中的乔氏，全国各地区球房的典范。一句全乔氏代表着球房档次、服务、口碑全部到位，有实力，全乔氏。
第7局单扫6个球。
That dry break from Dennis Okolo opened the door now for Shen Shenyi in the 7th frame. Stripe secure, but that's not an easy layout at all. Even 4 solids, if you have a look at the bunch of 4 solids sitting at the top of the table. It does have the 15 available to the top left corner pocket. Has to leave himself on the 12 to then come around and move the 10 or get behind the 10 afterwards. Yeah, so instead of going into the 10, he's decided to bank this. It's not there. Yeah, it's never 100%. It's never going to be 100%. So Dennis Okolo back to the table after that dry break. And he's going to have to deal with that bunch of solids, the 1, 7, 3, and 5 in the balk area. Taken his extension as well now, and he's going for the 4-ball bottom left corner pocket. It's there, moves the black ball as well. He's on the 2, but to where? Cue ball behind the bunch at the top of the table, and he gets the bank as well. But look at the cue ball. So if he misses the bank, have a look at where he puts the cue ball. Look, right now it might mean end of visit, but because he's got the cue ball up there, is options. Yeah, those are the options I was talking about. Cue ball tight behind the 3-ball, almost guaranteeing that he will come back to the table. Okay, so I've just made sure that the links to the live scores and the links to the flowcharts are on the WHT Facebook page. So if you search WHT, that's World Heyball Tour Facebook page, you'll find the links to the live scores there. I've also shared it to my personal Facebook page also, just so it makes things easier for you guys to find it. And Chen Sheni does take his 4th point, 4-3 up against Dennis Okolo. Yeah, Dennis, at the moment, a few more unforced errors with those missed pots. I would say 3 or 4 already in this match. And every time he does that, it's costing him. He's playing the better tactical game, but you can't afford to miss pots against the likes of Shen Sheni. 1 break and run, 1 rack and run. 1 break and run for Dennis Okolo. After 7 frames played, the score is 4-3 Shen Shenyi. Let's look at that break again. Nothing in at first. Does make the 4 and the 14 in those opposite corner pockets. I would love to get another break and run on the board before we head into that 8-frame player break. I see Zhao Long is on his way back as well. Zheng Kongpeng and Zhao Long, the score is 6-5 in favor of Kongpeng. Zhao Long with 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs. Yeah, the score lines can change very quickly. Very quickly indeed. Phoneman Kyo also making a comeback. He's 5-2 down against Xia Liao. Wu Zhenyu 6-2 up against Jose Delgado. Gareth Potts and Haley Moore still 5-3. They would have taken a player break, but it looks like they are back. Yongjun Park 6-3 up against Niu Zhang. Niu Zhang, the winner of the Grandmasters finals this year. Chen Zi is 6-4 up against Michael Tomlinson at the moment. And in that match, Chen Zi, 3 break and runs, 1 rack and run. Michael Tomlinson, 2 break and runs, 1 rack and run. Yeah, definitely a better standard now from Shen Shenyi. He's kicked it up a gear. You can see he's playing slightly faster also. There's more confidence around the table. As he takes his 5th point, we go into the player break with Shen Shenyi 5-3 up against Dennis Okolo with another break and run. He's got 2 break and runs, 1 rack and run, and Dennis Okolo with just the 1 rack and run. Now, if you are looking to watch the other matches or the live scores, we have posted the live scores on our Facebook page. It's the WHT Facebook page, World Heyball Tour. That's where you can find the links to the live scores and the bracket. And if you want to watch the other matches currently live, then head over to live.qq.com. It is a Chinese website. The website again is live.qq.com. We can't share the links, unfortunately, because it is removed by Facebook. But live.qq.com, translate the page. It is a Chinese website. And you'll see a tab for sports or billiards. Click on that and you will see all the other tables. Now, that website, in my experience, usually works better if you are using a VPN as well. So we are on a 5 to 10 minute player break. We'll be back shortly, guys. Score is 5-3 in favor of Shen Shenyi.
天要球杆换一切为可能。欧尚地毯突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯，掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检。世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。 2025赛季中式八球大师赛收官之战，利百文台尼乔氏杯2025中式八球大师赛南宁站，全球顶尖选手着陆绿城南宁，甲级赛、超级赛近1000万奖金池。
3结束，比赛继续。9局，沈申毅开球。
And we are back after that 8-frame player break. Shen Sheni 5-3 up on Dennis Okolo with 2 break-in runs, 1 rack-and run. One of those break-in runs coming just before the player break. But this time, cue ball in as he was just gaining some momentum over Dennis. This is a race to 13 winners break format. And if you are just joining us, welcome to the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Nanning Station. This is the Super Tour at the moment. The first tournament here was the Division 1 Tour from the 14th of December to the 24th. That was won by Kong De Jing over Chen Siming. But now we are in the Super Tour. 277,000 US dollars first prize for the winner of this tournament. The final will be played on the 4th of January at 2 p.m. and that will be a race to 23. Down to the last 32 players in the tournament. Double elimination down to the final. We are currently on day 6. Another 6 more days of action to come your way, including today. Next match will be round 2 in stage 3. That will be at 5 p.m. local time here in China. Now, Dennis needs to make a little comeback again. He's had to do it earlier in the match to equalize things, but has to do it again to stay in this match. Because with a player like Shen Sheni, once he gains momentum, it's going to be very, very difficult to stop him. That's why some of these players, you see, they don't really like to play the race to 7s because they aren't used to it. Most of the Chinese players are used to playing longer races, 13 and above. Now that gives you time to get into the match. Yes, you might not be playing your best in the first few frames, but you can find yourself. And then you see the scoreline changing very quickly. Yes, quite a match on table 2 between Zhang Kongpeng and Zhao Long. Score there 7-5 to Kongpeng. And Foneman still down against Jia Liao 6-2 in that match on table 4. I think they must have just come back from the player break now. Foneman is currently on the table, but a lot of work to do, being 4 points down. Cheng Liu 7-3 up against Michael Hill. Feng Zhuan 8-2 up against Kim Larksonen. Gareth Potts 6-4 up against Haley Moore. Yongjun Park is now 7-3 up against Niu Zhang. And Jing Zhaohai is 6-3 up against Zheng Tai. Table 22, Chen Zi is 8-4 up against Michael Tomlinson. Now, if you are looking for the live scores or the flowchart of Stage 3, it is on our WHT Facebook page. That's World Heyball Tour Facebook page. And that's where most of the information is. Pictures from the tournament, the previous brackets, all the live streams are shared onto there as well. I've also shared it onto my personal Facebook page. I've shared the links also. So you should be able to find that. I have seen quite a few comments asking, how do you view the other tables? Now, unfortunately, we can't put it on Facebook, or neither can we put the links as Facebook removes it. But what you can do is in your browser, type in live.qq.com. That's live.qq.com. It's a Chinese website, so you go onto the website, get it translated by Google Chrome, and it's a sports and gaming streaming website. So what you can do is look at the sports tab, you'll see billiards, and if you click on that, you should see the first page should be all the Joy streams live there. And obviously you can click on them and find your favorite player on there. I think for people who are struggling to find that, you can let me know in the comments if you'd like me to make a post or a video about it, and I can post it to my personal Facebook page, and hopefully that that might help you guys. You can let me know if that would help in any way. I could do that after the match, so at least, you know, for the future matches you'll be able to find it. Oh, look at the positional shot he's played there to come around for the 4. 4 goes. The question is, does the 6 go as well? It could. It actually does look like it goes, and it's just too many unforced errors from Dennis Okolo at the moment if he wants to really give Shensheni a hard time. As I said, to go straight up potting against Shensheni is not going to be easy. He's going to have to win those tactical battles, which he actually has been doing. He just hasn't been able to convert them. Yeah, now Shensheni just 3 pots away from getting his 6th point and increasing that lead against Dennis Okolo. This is double elimination, however, so all players still with 2 lives. We've just started stage 3. 32 players remaining by the end of today. We'll just have 24 players left. Then it starts to go quite quick. And then, of course, you get the winner's bracket side only playing once a day. And if you are in the loser's bracket, you have to play twice a day, right up to the final. Which is why it is so difficult to perform to the best of your abilities in that final. It's there. Shensheni gets his 6 point on the board. He's 6-3 up against Dennis Okolo now in this race to 13. That's 9 frames played, 6-3. 2 break and runs from Shensheni, 1 rack and run, and just 1 rack and run from Dennis Okolo, 1 break and run from Dennis Okolo. Must say the surprise scoreline at the moment is Jia Liao 6-2 up against Phoneman Kyo, and also the New Zhang match. Just looking for that now. That's Yongjun Park 8-3 up against New Zhang. New Zhang, this year's Grandmasters Finals winner, beat Zhang Taiyi in that final. Taiyi also here. Zheng Zhao high up against Zheng Taiyi, 6-3 up at the moment. And I see Haley Moore has got one back against Gareth Potts. Gareth is leading 6-5, but that is a tough match. 1 break and run each, 3 rack and runs each. And it looks like the breaks are getting better also for Shen Chenyi. He's definitely been breaking better the last few frames. Previous frame he potted the cue ball, unfortunately for him. Makes the combination. He's not nicely on the 4. He's going to have to take the 5 to the center pocket. As you can see, the 3 does go, but only from this side. Which means it would have needed to be straight on the 1 to that top corner pocket to pot the 3 in the opposite corner. Coming around to have a look at the 3 once again. Now, can still see people are trying to find the other live stream matches. It's live.qq.com. You have to translate the page. And when you do, okay, so I'm going to go onto it right now from the beginning. Live.qq.com. Enter. So you enter the page, get it translated with Google Chrome. I think it's the 3rd tab. Yeah, you click on the 3rd tab. Then you see all the current sports that are there. And the 4th sport is billiards. And there we go on the page. And you can see all the joy streams. Now, what might have made it slightly easier for me is I've got desktop site ticked on my phone. So just checking if you don't have desktop site ticked, whether it does make a difference. Yeah, it's still quite easy to use. If you just run through the tabs at the top, you will see billiards, you'll see a rack of balls there, and that's how you get to it. You know, even I'm trying it on a normal mobile. It's the same thing. As soon as you come onto the site, well, on mobile it's m.live.qq.com. And the second menu, you can say, you click the second option and there are all the tables live. Shen Shenyi gets another point on the board. That is his 7th point. He's starting to run away with this match now, is Shen Shenyi. 7th point, 3rd break and run. He's got 3 break and runs, 1 rack and run. Dennis Okolo with the 1 break and run at the moment. Score 7-3 after 10 frames played.
第11局，沈申毅开球。
Yeah, now starting to make a ball more often on the break is Shen Shenyi. Things have definitely changed in this match from his perspective. He's a different player than the first few frames. Look, he would have known he's playing against Dennis Okolo, one of the greatest pool players ever. I mean, he's been inducted into the BCA Hall of Fame, over 20 major titles, WPA World 8-Ball Champion. Really is considered one of the greatest to play the game of pool. Even when these Chinese players were growing up, learning the game, these are the kind of players they would have looked up to. They would have definitely studied these players. And Shen Shenyi, coming from an American pool background and a 9-ball background, he would definitely know who he's playing against. That might have been a factor in the first few frames, but not anymore. Lost the cue ball slightly there, unfortunately. What does he have? I mean, a roll more. He's on the 9 to the bottom corner pocket. I was thinking that was the only shot he had, the 14 off the 15. Look, he's managed to get position, the 15 unfortunately behind the 4, but he's looking like he's in the mood to make things happen, is Shen Shenyi. Oh, this is going to be recovery now. It's been recovery for the past few shots. He's out of position once again. This 11 down to the bottom right corner pocket to keep this visit going. Very close from that distance and that angle, especially where the cue ball was.
10秒。延时。
You know, Dennis has to make the most out of this opportunity. 7-3 down, hasn't really got a chance, hasn't really had a chance in the last few shots, in the last few visits. Oh my word. I don't believe what I've just seen. That is a foul. Ball didn't make it into the pocket, neither did a ball touch the cushion, and what a let-up that is. Hands the table back over to Shen Sheni. And at the moment, it seems like everything is not going the way of Okolo. Yeah, but this frame is not over just yet. He's got ball in hand, but has to make this first. Referee calls 10 seconds. He's going to start counting from 5. There we go. 15's there. That was a costly error from Dennis. And how costly we are yet to see, because it's not only going to be one frame, he gives Shen the break in the next. Yeah, and this is just going to keep opening the door for Shen. The confidence is going to keep going up. And he's going to keep punishing the mistakes. As he gets his 8 point on the board, he's 8-3 up against Dennis Okolo. Will be breaking in the next frame also. I really can't believe that error from Dennis. Never would have thought I'd see that. Now we have shared the live scores and the brackets, well, the links to the live scores and the bracket as well to the WHT Facebook page. It is also shared to my personal Facebook page. But on table 2, Xiang Kongpeng 9-6 up against Zhao Long. Phone Minkyo is 8-2 down against Xie Liao. I have no idea how. Hasn't been not that many break and runs or rack and runs, just a few. But definitely Phone is not at the party at the moment. Cheng Liu 9-4 up against Michael Hill. Wu Zhenyu is 10-2 up against Jose Delgado. Gareth Potts and Haley Moore have been fighting for quite a while. It's 8-6 to Potts. And so far, Haley Moore having more one-visit clearances. Yongjun Park 8-4 up against Niu Zhang. Jing Zhaohai 7-4 against Zhang Taiyi at the moment. Chen Zi 11-4 up against Michael Tomlinson. Chenzi with 6 break and runs against Tomlinson. And here we go again with Shen Chenyi. He's breaking well. Look at the balls on the table. Only problem I currently see is the black ball now. Does he feel the need to move the black ball? It's more than a ball's width away from the cushion. But just a slight touch would put it in front of the center pocket. The angle on the 3 is actually there to do that. He could do that right now. Yeah, what do you do in this scenario? You're on a break and run, looking for your 9th point. Do you risk it? You have to remember these players can play that shot and pot it more than 90% of the time if they are right behind it. He could nudge into it right now. And the thing is, if he goes into it from the 2, he's most probably still going to be on the 6. And that would have been his plan all along. Yes, there is an angle there. Just needs to push the black ball. He gets it. He's played that absolutely perfectly off the 2 ball into the black ball. That was the right way to go. You play it from the 3, you might get stuck behind the black ball. So at the moment, in a whole another league is Shen Shenyi, and this is what I'm used to seeing from him, this kind of quality. And that is another break and run as he gets his 9th point, 9-3 up against Dennis Okolo at the moment. He's got 4 break and runs, 1 rack and run. After 12 frames played, it is 9-3 to Shen Shenyi in this race to 13. This is stage 3 here at the Super Tour at the Joy Heyball Masters. This tournament presented by Joy Billiards and Lieberwin Cloth. We are playing on the Joy Q8 Golden Leg steel block table with Lieberwin 8848 Cloth. Now, if you are interested in buying one of these tables, feel free to contact us on the WHT page or on any of the pages that you see the Joy streams on. Alternatively, contact Doris Cheng to purchase one of these tables. These are the official tables of the Grandmasters Finals and widely used around the world for most international tournaments. Now you can see, since he's got the momentum, he's been breaking so well. every time, potting more than one ball on the break. A little bit of hesitation here. Can he get through to the potting angle of the 1? I think he should be able to. Does. Misses the 5 as well. Holds the cue ball for the 7. He's gone again here. This is the kind of form that we've come to expect from Shen Yi. Playing this so well at the moment. And looking certain to be on double digits after this frame. Yeah, right in the center of the pocket, and he's perfect on the black ball. And this for another break and run. It'll be 2 consecutive now for Shen Yi. And it's their 10th point on the board, 5th break and run. He's got 5 break and runs, 1 rack and run. 2 of those 5 are consecutive. On table 2, Zhang Kongpeng is 10-6 up against Zhao Long. Kongpeng with 4 break and runs, 3 rack and runs. Zhao Long with 2 rack and runs, well, 2 break and runs, 4 rack and runs. Jia Liao is 9-2 up against Phone Min Kyo at the moment. Yeah, Phone is having a tough time. It is a race to 13. His opponent is 4 away. Now we do know that Phone can put together quite a few frames when he needs to. So let's see if he can make a comeback in that match. Fourteenth frame now to get underway. Shen Yi breaking it, his winner's break. And this is to stay in the winner's bracket in stage 3. Now really staying in the winner's bracket in stage 3, I'd say, is one of the most important things to do. It gives you the best chance to play well towards the end of the tournament, as you are only playing once a day after today. So the fatigue factor is not there. You are getting enough rest. As you can imagine, playing 2 race to 13s, or when it does become 15 and 17, playing 2 of those a day can be very tough. Plus you do play less matches, so more time to rest, less matches to play. And we see it time and time again that the player who comes through the loser's bracket, when it comes to the final day, it is so tough for them. That is the first mistake that we've seen in a while from Shen Yi. That cue ball was supposed to come about 20 centimeters back. But looks like he lays a decent snooker. I don't think Dennis Okolo has sight of any of the balls on the table. Now Shen Yi is going to have a problem when he comes to the bottom of the table as well. Dennis gets the 2. What can he do from here? Can he make something work? He's judged that very well to get the 2 in. The 6 doesn't go to the center though, unfortunately. Look what his plan be now to slow his opponent down. Oh, he doesn't want to break up the 14 and 15. Okay, luckily he didn't. I won't really mind that, as he doesn't leave the 6 on. That is a legal shot in Heyball rules. Can put your opponent's ball as long as you make contact with your ball first. Expect Dennis to push that in front of the stripe. Now this is an important shot in this frame. Has to get the cue ball hidden from the 1. What he'd love to do here is to break up the 14 and get the cue ball safe at the same time. Okay, something like that. Yes, exactly like that. You might see Dennis bring out the jump cue though. Yeah, I really did think there was a possibility he might jump towards the 1, but instead can be risky from that distance, especially with the pace you're coming in at. It's not there. But once again, getting a pretty decent cue ball, although this time the 1 and the 4, they are available for Dennis Okolo. 10-3 down, race to 13. There's no time limit, so there's always a chance to make a comeback. Very similar to the comeback that Fonement has to make if he wants to win this match. He's 9-3 down against Jia Liao at the moment. Zheng Kongpeng 10-7 up against Zhao Long. Kim Larksonen 10-5 down against Feng Xuan. And the first match of stage 3 is complete. Wu Zhenyu has defeated Jose Delgado 13 frames to 2. That's Wu Zhenyu with 5 break and runs, 1 rack and run. Chen Zi as well has finished his match against Michael Tomlinson 13-4. Chen Zi with 7 break and runs, 1 rack and run. It's a cracking pot from Dennis Okolo right into the back of the pocket. Hasn't really been rewarded with good position at the table though. Another cracking pot. He should stay on the 5, but he doesn't. He's just trying to loosen that Q arm at the moment, is Dennis. But now doesn't have a pot in the 5. Is he gonna... Yeah, I think that was his only option. Just stick the cue ball behind the 11, get the 5 out. Plays the indirect towards the 12, legal shot. Made contact with the cushion after contact. Now this is exactly what he wants. He wants Dennis to move the 7 and the 15. Interesting. 7's looks like it's tied up the 14. The 15 now not available as well. That is an absolutely cracking pot from Shen Chenyi. I have just heard from a few of our viewers watching the Phone Mint game. Phone Mint wins a frame, then breaks dry. And I did say when he was on the TV table yesterday that break was not consistent enough. And if he went up against one of the top Chinese players, he was going to be in trouble. That's exactly what it looks like is happening. He's at the table now, though, however, is Phone Mint with an opportunity. Again, it's not an easy one, but he's been sat in that chair for so long that it's just not flowing for Phone Mint. He's 9-3 down against Jia Liao. And Gareth Potts and Haley Moore, the score is 8-all as they go to the 16-frame player break. And we have a real match on our hands on that table. Oh, what a pot that is. And is he going to get the position on the 14? That is one of the best pots and positional play shots I've seen on this TV table. That is unbelievable. To smash that in past the 5 at that pace, 3 times across, and get onto the right side of the 14, well, into that gap. Unbelievable from Shen Shenyi. Look, it's still not easy, though. This is not an easy black ball by any means. It's almost dead straight. This is a test of cueing. Test of your fundamentals. Need to keep the head and the upper body straight. And still, and it's there. Shen Shenyi gets his 11th point on the board. What a finish that was. Leads Denis Okolo 11 frames to 3. Yeah, that was, I've honestly, to the pot and the position, I haven't seen better. Yes, we've seen players get the cue ball around the entire table and into position, but at that pace, to smash that in past the 5, he's gone across the table 3 times, lands in the window, makes the finish. Highlight for me of the tournament. And if you've played on this table, you'd know how difficult that is to do, to judge the pace, to get the pot right while playing across. Reverse cut into a blind pocket. Yeah, magical from Shen Shenyi at the moment. He's made a ball on the break again. He's 11-3 up after 14 frames. Oh, but it's not to be. Cue ball doesn't go in, however, it is an open table for Denis Okolo. Currently 11-3 down in this race to 13. There is no time limit. However, there is a shot clock on the players. They have 45 seconds per shot. One extension of 30 seconds per frame. Yeah, it's a good opening pot from Denis. Needs the cue ball to hold. Unbelievable. Everything is going wrong for Denis at the moment. Now that is ball in hand, open table. And look at the stripes now for Shen Shenyi. Look, I don't think Denis can believe what's going on at the moment. So, of course, neither can we. He's made a brilliant opening pot that was not easy from where the cue ball was. And Shen Shenyi now taking full advantage of that opportunity. You can just see when when the confidence is up, you can see by the way they stroke the ball. It's amazing how those two correlate, confidence and good cueing. Shen Shenyi makes that clearance. He's 12-3 up against Denis Okolo after 15 frames now. Question is, will we see a 16-frame player break?
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，是我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用。
Absolutely terrible luck for Kolo at the moment. 12-3 down, he's not getting the run of the balls. And his opponent is starting to play better and better with each frame. Shen Shenyi breaking now in the 16th frame. Makes the 2-ball. And you've seen that he's decreased the pace on that. He's used the controlled break. Well, it wasn't that controlled. The cue ball almost going into the center pocket, but nonetheless, it's a good open table. Look, to me, stripes look better at first glance with their positions around the center of the table. They're all available without taking another one out. But it does mean you are going to have to move the 12 that is on the right side cushion. Like that. He's done that perfectly. That couldn't have worked out any better. We've seen the 13 goes past the 7. He's pushed that into the perfect place. Not only that, he's landed himself on the 9 if that went wrong. So he's just taking a second now to work out his route. He's done the hard work in this frame so far. See, Zheng Kongpeng has won his match 13-8 over Zhao Long. Yeah, they've just finished their Kongpeng 5 break-in runs, 5 rack-in runs. Zhao Long just the 2 break-in runs and 6 rack-in runs. Zhao Long is the player that eliminated Tang Shunshao from the tournament yesterday. And Tang Shunshao is the player that eliminated Chu Bingjie 2 days ago. See, Phone Mint is 10-3 down against Jia Liao. He is not getting a chance. I say he's not getting a chance, doesn't mean he's not coming to the table, but when he does, everything's looking difficult for him. He's at the table currently. He has to try and change something in that match. Michael Hill has brought it to 9-all against Cheng Liu. He was down by quite a bit in that match, so Mick Hill is fighting. Gareth Potts 9-8 up against Haley Moore at the moment after that player break. Now the next match for the day will be at 5 p.m. local time, so that's in just under 5 hours time. I'll be on commentary for that as well. Now we'll only know what match that is 10 minutes before because it's a redraw before each round, but judging by the 32 players left in this tournament, it's going to be an absolute cracker of a match, as they all are. And as this one has been, that is another break and run for Shen Shenyi. That's 6 break and runs, 1 rack and run. He defeats Dennis Okolo 13 frames to 3. Dennis just not having the run of the balls in that. Quite unlucky in a few frames, in many frames. And the match going the way of Shen Shenyi. So Shen carries on in the winner's bracket. Dennis Okolo down to the loser's bracket. Both of them will be playing later on today. All players will be actually playing in round 2 later today. And Dennis will have to fight through that loser's bracket, as the loser's bracket players will be playing each other, and we will be eliminating 8 players from the tournament by the end of today. So started off with 32, will be down to 24 by the end of the day. Thank you guys for joining us for this live stream. We'll be back at 5 p.m. local time here in China with more action from stage 3, round 2 of the Super Tour here at the Joy Heyball Masters Nanning Station. I'm your commentator, Raymond Tillack. Thank you guys for being with me. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you later. Cheers, guys.